Welcome back. The establishment loves to rail against Trump's trade war, but what about Trump's trade peace? We're still waiting for Congress to vote on the US-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, USMCA, the most pro-worker trade deal ever. A recent study showed that passing the agreement could boost economic growth, adding nearly $70 billion to the economy and 180,000 new jobs. Even the New York Times said the deal presents a dilemma for Democrats because it contains measures they've supported for years, from requiring more of a car's parts to be made in North America to rolling back a special system of arbitration for corporations and strengthening Mexican labor unions. So the question is, why aren't the Democrats voting on this? I think there's a simple answer. Sarah, do you want to kick us off?
The simple answer is she doesn't want to win for Donald Trump, and she's going to hold off and find every excuse in the book to not pass it. And that's exactly what Nancy Pelosi is doing. That's why they're not presenting it before a vote. And it's just as simple as that, because you can see the deal is, for the most part, exactly what the Democrats wanted from the beginning. So this is it.
I know, and it's a great example of how, President Trump, he's not an establishment Republican. This is exactly what he promised. He's so kind of relentless about delivering his promises. NAFTA was a disaster. I'm going to renegotiate it. They did. The other countries have agreed. It's all ready to go.
It is, and it has elements that make everyone happy. What a remarkable experience. And yet, what does it tell you about the Democrats? That they're so invested in failure and victimhood that they have to fight against something that is a victory even for them, because it happens to maybe be also a victory for Trump. But this is one of those dynamics where the American people are the winners, and they can't have that either. That should be discussed more by the Trump administration. There's a 48-member House Problem Solvers Caucus, obviously very busy these days. And they put out last month a message saying, we want this solved in a timely fashion. So that's exactly what it is. They are so wrapped up in their own knot, they can't even move forward with something that would benefit them, because America would be doing better, and that hurts the Democrats. What does that tell you?
I know. It's just.
Well, but this America gets it. This is where the heartland sees through the hypocrisy of Nancy Pelosi when she stands up there and says that Donald Trump and the Republicans are obstructionists and they won't do anything. Everybody knows that the single most important piece of legislation that they could pass on a bipartisan basis is this trade deal with our biggest trading partners, and she won't let it come up for the vote. She's the single person, the only person that is holding it up. Otherwise, it'd be done.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, the Senate has indicated they would do it. You go through and look at all the Democrats and line them up. They're wholeheartedly behind this. But Nancy Pelosi, and the power of the speakership, she's the one that can call up this vote or not call it up. But it's been sitting there for literally, Steve, for more than a year now.
So it's really up to the American people. I mean, if people want to see this go through, they need to call Nancy Pelosi's office and say, hey, what's going on? Are you going to pass this or not? What's your issue with it?
Well, because she's busy doing other things, which is, as she says, not hating President Trump, which, of course, no one believes for a second, because that's what's driving their whole agenda.